with your palette cleansers. Show me what you got.
Welcome in, everybody, to a brand new episode of Audionots. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the Beta King, the REN himself, Mr. Ren. What's happening, my dude?
What's good?
What have you been up to? What's going on?
Staying home, saving lives, man.
Stay home, save lives. Well,
Just like your
pointed the wrong
shirt.
way. I was looking in the camera and I pointed to the opposite side. Stay home, save lives.
Yep.
What else have you been doing?
Watching lots of shows. Just kidding, not lots of show this time. Working on designs like always, making
Nice.
dope ass cool stuff. I actually bought. Do you know what a Cricut is?
Yeah, I know what a Cricut is, but why don't you tell the audience, for those who aren't older than 60, they may not know what a Cricut is.
Yeah. Well, it's a cutter. Basically, you could like cut stickers and cut decals and all sorts of cool stuff with it.
Yeah, Cricut cutter.
Yeah, you could do like vinyl and all sorts of stuff. So I got one. I don't know how to use it. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. And I swear to you, every damn YouTube video with tutorials is like what you said.
What do you mean, a bunch of old ladies?
Yeah. Old ladies or like stay-home moms or...
A bunch of Karens.
Yeah.
They're like, you can make your stickers to go on your flip phone.
And then like, you know how after you watch it, it's always recommended to you. It's a bunch of like older ladies teaching you how to use a Cricut.
Whole bunch of different olds video. Well, maybe that's a fetish too. You can just click on it and be like, yeah, look at these Cricut ladies.
Let's go. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of decals and stickers, so it's pretty cool.
Nice. Anything cool? Like, what's your favorite? You don't have to tell us what the sticker is, but like, what are you putting them on? Is it like, are they for cell phones, for cars, for your laptop, for anything?
I did a few for laptops. I actually did one for a customer, and he put it on his car. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Didn't I see you? Was it your Cricut cutter that you made some like mask things, like some iron-ons or something for your masks?
Oh yeah, they have the iron-on like vinyl, and so I basically cut it out and then iron it on to my mask. It's pretty cool.
That's dope.
Did
That's
a logo
cool.
and everything.
I think that's how this shirt is made. Like when I feel it, it feels like it's just like ironed on.
Yeah.
And like the back just says the exact same thing, really giant. Stay home, save lives.
Yeah, I could do that. Simple stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun.
Like a brand name thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun. I mean, now that I know how to use it with our like design skills, our background, we have like an advantage of doing like cooler things.
Right.
Because in the tutorials, they just basically use what the program has, like the text and stuff like that. But you can like design your own and make it as a PNG and then just have it cut. So it's pretty cool.
That's dope. Yeah. So if anybody out there wants some sort of cool ass sticker and or iron-ons, Mr. Ren knows how to do it.
Maybe I should make some like Audionots stickers.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put one on something. I don't know if I'd put it on my car. I put it over my brand new dent in my car.
Oh yeah, cover up
the dent.
That windstorm.
Yeah, we had a windstorm and it blew. I had my parking spot at work and it blew apart a tree and the tree dropped a branch on my brand new car and put a big dent in the hood. So that sucks. But I'll cover it with an Audionots sticker. It'll look even doper now.
Yeah, and then use it like for self-advertising.
Yeah, I'll write it off. Now the whole car is gonna be right off. Oh, that's awesome. What else? What have you been watching?
I've been really dedicated to the Karate Kid.
Oh, I love
not
it.
the Karate Kid, Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Very cool. Let's get into it officially. So once again, we are the Audionots, your pop culture palette cleanser, hosted here by vigilantedesign.com. So make sure to log into our website, order some stuff. We'll make it awesome. We'll cut you some stickers. With that, let's jump into it. Here is the healthy stream.
Yeah, so I am on season 2 now, like halfway through.
Okay.
Like episode 6.
Which episode? Halfway? I think you might actually, if you said 6, you might be more because I can't remember if it was an 8 or 10 episode season.
It's a 10.
Okay.
So, because I actually looked. You
checked ahead?
Yeah, I got to the part where...
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Johnny gets together with his gang.
Oh, his old buddies.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting because I was surprised at how well he and the Karate Kid dude have aged. Like he definitely looks his age, and the Karate Kid for some reason still looks like he's like 16.
Yeah.
But the rest of these dudes all look like haggard old men.
So are they actually the kids from the movie back in the day?
Yes, those all the real actors.
Yeah, the one that was sick. Man,
Yeah.
that guy looked like he was 80.
Yeah. The thing about it too is he played a high school student. I feel like Creed or Crease or whatever the hell his name is, John Crease, actually looks younger than that dude, and he played their teacher originally.
Yeah. Was it one of those where the 28-year-old was trying to play a high school kid or something like that?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, he could actually just be older and he was playing younger then.
Yeah, he looked like he could be Johnny's dad or something.
Yeah, he looks so old that you believed it when they told you he was dying of something. You're like, okay, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Poor guy, he probably is dying of something.
But you know how you said that it was season 2 was like way cornier? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think it's not that corny. It's
Oh,
probably
wait. Maybe it's the latter half of it that got me.
well, like throughout the season, I'm at halfway. I'm like, where's the corny part? The only corny part was like that one dude that joins the karate dojo.
Right, the comic relief.
Yeah, he's like, now call me Stingray.
Because they're like sleeky and sneak up on you.
Yeah,
It's
so
like, oh my
stupid.
God. I don't know. I think that because they focus so much more on the teens in season 2, it just made it feel a little bit more Nick and Knight type of show.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll just have different opinions. But I'd wait to hear your final review once you see the last few episodes, because I just feel like it gets a little cheesier as it goes. And don't get me wrong, I'll still watch season 3 because I
Right.
want to see what's going to happen. But yeah.
I mean, like, if whoever wants to watch this, like for me, I grew up watching like kung fu movies because
Yeah.
you know I love it. The karate is very, very cringy to me, but you get over it real quick, you know, because
Right.
it's how it is what it is. You just kind of like, it's not all about the karate. It's everything like that surrounds it, yeah, sort of thing.
Correct. Yeah. It's just like a lot of things. Like when you watch like Friday Night Lights isn't about football, even though that's the main thing that the show is talking about, but it's all about all the drama that surrounds it. And so Cobra Kai is the same thing. While its base may be karate or karate, it's really about the drama of all the people, the students and the adults.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable show. Like I said that the first season, and then season 2,
Yeah.
it's still been really like pleasant, I guess.
Nice.
It's
Yeah, no,
not
I
like-
love season 1. Season 1's still a solid 8 for me.
Yeah,
Season 2 was more of a 5 or a 6
right.
for me. But yeah, if you finish at a higher number, that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, cringing away.
Yeah, there you go. Also on Netflix, I watched a movie. We talked about it a few episodes ago. I ended up watching The Devil All the Time. And
yeah.
that's the one with Spider-Man. It's got Tom Holland in it. And it's got Robert Pattinson and what is the real guy's name that plays the Winter Soldier? I don't even know his real name. That guy.
Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, that guy. But it has like a ton of good actors, and so it takes place 1945 through 1965. I thought it had really good acting. I thought it had amazing character development, but the movie itself felt as if it was made almost purpose. Its main purpose was to try to win some awards. It feels like an award show type movie. It's very pretty. It takes place over multiple timelines, but it also is kind of boring, a little bit grim, a little bit slow. I was impressed though with all the English actors and their like big southern accents. I thought they were pretty good. You know, you watch enough of that and you just want to talk like that all the time. Like I'll just do the rest of the show in a southern accent. And so I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't recommend it if that makes any sense.
I did not watch it.
Yeah, it's a long movie. It's like almost 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to edit anything out. But the basic premise, and I wrote this down so I would remember it. So mild spoiler alert is I'm going to tell this to you as if I only know everybody from their superheroes.
Yes.
Nice. I thought you'd like that. Maybe
that's what
I'll do it in a southern accent too to make it authentic.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Like, this movie is full of superheroes. I know everybody.
Yeah. So this movie done here, was produced by Mysterio, and it is starring Spider-Man as the son of It. You know, that scary ass clown. Now, Spider-Man grows up and he kills himself some Batman. You know what else he also does? He befriends the Winter Soldier only to kill him too. And at the end of the day, the dude from Planet of the Apes, he gets his ass killed by Spider-Man too. He's a real kill machine. So that is the entire plot of We Kill All the Time, or whatever the hell it's called. The Devil All the Time. So that's my review. Full synopsis.
So that's the movie, right?
That's the entirety of the movie. I just saved everybody 2 hours and 20 minutes.
So Spider-Man goes on a killing spree. That's it.
Well, it's not even a killing spree. It's over 2 hours and 20 minutes and 20 something years. So it's a spread out killing, you know. And most of the killing happens in the third act. So it's a whole lot of lead up to the rage built inside of him, so that he can start the killing.
Right.
But
playing the long game.
The long game. That's all I had for Netflix, other than I did have one hot Netflix tidbit for everybody that was super into the Dark Crystal. Unfortunately, it's been canceled. It will not be renewed for a second season. I only watched the first episode. I went back and I watched the movie, and I'm like, oh, this movie doesn't hold up. And then I watched the first episode, and I thought, I don't know if this is for me. But it kept getting it's one of these shows that gets like rave reviews, but the audience, I think, agreed and didn't like it. So Netflix nixed it. So sorry, Jim Henson.
Well, we learned from Netflix that Netflix really values the audience's opinion.
Yeah, and that's good.
Like who cares about the critics? They're playing the numbers game where we know that tens of thousands of people are watching it, and we're gonna stick to that.
Except for Santa Clarita Diet, which I'm still pissed off about, and I'll mention every third episode.
I know, just like Bright, dude. Critics hated the movie.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna make more.
Yeah, because the fans love it.
We should get all the Audionots together and start bring back Santa Clarita Diet, like one of those campaigns where you send the studio a bunch of weird crap. We can send them like severed arms or something. That'd get their attention.
Yeah. Maybe we should tweet every day too, like a body part.
Bring back Santa Clarita. I love that show.
I'm gonna make my face into like Nathan Fillman's face, and as just a head only. And I'm like, bring it back. Give us like a movie to end it, or something.
Yeah, they should totally Kimmy Schmidt it. Bring it back as a movie. Maybe make it like a choose your own adventure type movie, and we could decide how it ends. Yeah, because I love that show.
Yeah, they did that with Sense8 too. Like they brought back as a movie to close it off. Like,
all right, come on, man. Let's do it. Let's get the Audionots together and let's see if we can get Santa Clarita back for a final movie, because I need to know what happened to Joel.
Yeah, it's just one of those endings where it's like, did he or did he not? You never know.
We don't ever get to know, which is so frustrating.
We leave it to your imagination.
Imagination sucks.
Screw that. I just want to see it, man. Give it to me.
Over on Hulu, I actually started watching a new show, and it's been around for a while, but I think because season 2 came out, they started really advertising it, and I'm a simple mind, and if I get advertised enough times, I tend to watch it. And so have you seen the reviews or the previews maybe for the TV show Pin 15, or Penis as it looks?
Oh no.
So they have this show. It's got a gimmick to it, but it actually doesn't feel as gimmicky as it sounds. These two 33-year-old female comedians star as 7th graders. So you're like, what the heck? You got 30-plus-year-olds playing 7th graders, but they don't look actually as ridiculous as you would think. They're pretty young looking for 33.
Wait, I've seen the trailers, yeah.
Okay, so you do know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I haven't seen the trailers, but I haven't seen it advertised to me.
Right. Yeah, because I think they're heavily advertising it for season 2.
Yeah.
But it's really cute. We started watching it. My wife actually really likes it. They're only half-hour episodes, and it's basically the trials and tribulations of the kids going through middle school. And it's really entertaining. My dog is barking like crazy in the background. I wonder what he wants. Maybe he wants to talk about penis.
You're like, penis?
He's like, penis? He's like on, what was the movie? They're like, sick his balls. And the dog would chase after you and bite you on the nuts. Also, I can't think of it.
I don't know. Life with Pets.
No, it was a classic movie. Oh, Stand by Me. The
Oh,
old movie
so
Stand by Me. They talk about how they had to jump this fence to go do something, but there was like a guard dog and it was trained to bite you in the balls. So maybe my dog gets fired up when he hears the word penis. He's been a real douchebag. But anyways, Penis is a funny show. Two 33-year-olds starring as seventh graders, and I enjoy it. It's pretty clever. It doesn't feel as gimmicky as I thought it would be. And they really like talk about a lot of things that probably would feel weird if it was actual seventh graders. Because there's one whole episode where they become obsessed with a thong and they notice this girls like they're in like this group of girls that are more popular than them and they want to be like part of it, and one of the girls kind of bends over and they can see her whale tail, and they're like, oh man, you see that she has a thong on, I've never seen that before, and their minds are blown. By the way, this takes place in like the 80s,
okay.
which also makes it something I like.
That's why
Or
you
no,
like
no,
it.
I'm a liar. It just feels that old. It takes place in the year 2000 exactly, because I was thinking it
Oh,
was the 90s, the year
Y2K?
2000 exactly. So they see this girl in a thong and they're all excited. So she, for whatever reason, they're changing into different outfits for like some sort of like talent show. And they steal this girl, they steal her thong and they try it on just to be silly. And then they both super like it. So they straight up steal this girl's thong and start wearing it at school and taking turns wearing it because it makes them feel sexy.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's this one bit that you could never get away with if it was a real seventh grade girl, where the one girl, she's half Japanese, half white. Her dad is the lead guitarist in a Steely Dan cover band. So he's always gone. And her mom's this like old Japanese mom. And her brothers looks more Japanese than her, but she's definitely kind of mixed, and she puts the thong on and then she feels like super gangster or something with it, and they start playing like this like 2000 like rap music, and they zoom in on her butt or somebody's butt in a thong and just bouncing up and down. She's like, oh yeah. And then she comes to the school next day and she's all like super gangster with her thong on. She's just feeling like super tough. It's so funny.
Man, maybe I should watch that.
Yeah, because there's things they could do with them being adults that makes it like it would be totally cringy if we were like watching some like seventh grade girl go through that, you know. But now knowing that she's not really even anywhere near that age makes it really funny.
Was the 2000s when they had like low-rise jeans with the thongs coming out,
Yes, and that's why
right?
the girl was wearing it, and they were
Okay.
so impressed by it. And a lot of the episodes are them trying to be cooler than they are, and then they have some like really like you would be shocked at how they're able to make things feel heartfelt, because that's kind of what caught me off guard. Because I went in thinking it was going to be gimmicky, then I really liked the humor because it's real subtle and cute, and then they start like pulling out your heartstrings and helping you learn a little bit. So the one girl is kind of a I don't know, like a redhead blonde. I don't know what they call that, but she's got that kind of hair. She's pale and white. The other girl, like I said, is half Japanese, half white. And so they all together, they don't really, at their age, they've never really realized racism. And they have the three girls they're trying to be friends with over to help promote osteoporosis for a school video. And so they decide, because there's five of them, to dress as the Spice Girls. And the half Japanese girl wants to be posh. And they're like, no, you can't be posh. You have to be Scary Spice. And then she's like,
Right.
why do I have to be Scary Spice? Like, well, because you look different. And none of them have really, like, the one girls are being racist, and the girl that's having it happen, she just doesn't even realize really what's going on. So she just kind of goes with it and starts playing the part and not even realizing that she's partaking in this kind of racist thing.
Right.
And both of her, and it's kind of fun to watch because her best friend, the other white girl, starts to realize something's clearly wrong. And after it's all over, she gets on AOL
Oh yeah.
and starts asking Jeeves and learns like all about, like she starts learning all about racism, systematic racism and all these things, systemic racism. And she's upset. And then the other girl, she tells her brother, and he's like, damn, that's straight racist. How are you going to let those girls treat like that? And so her white friend decides to do what all white people do and fix it for her, you know? And so she decides to hire the drama group. She has this idea to stop racism forever at school. So she gets the drama kids to pretend like they don't like the Japanese girl, but she doesn't pre-tell the half Japanese girl ahead of time. And so they start calling her names and being really nasty to her. And she gets upset and then her friends gets in trouble for a hate crime at school, even though she was really trying to open everybody's eyes to the racism. And her brother gets real mad about it and tells her that he has to beat her ass. And so they get like this like fist fight dance, like they're gonna fight each other. And it's a whole thing, but they take this time to let the girl really establish her voice and how she's upset about really encountering racism for the first time. And I thought that was really well done for a show that's so silly otherwise.
Right. At the same time, it's teaching all of us.
Yeah, it teaches everybody. Like that kind of stuff, you just need more and more of it. And so, yeah, I recommend Pin 15 or Penis.
Yeah, didn't you say that you have a hard time trying to find a show that you and your wife?
Yes,
like,
yeah,
will
because
watch together?
I tried on Hulu to watch Woke with her, and I did watch Woke all the way, and I liked it all the way through. But I think she thought it was boring. She wasn't into it. And so this is a good one. This is a show that both of us can like.
And you said, wait, season 2 is already out, or it's
Yeah, so
coming out?
there's two seasons.
Okay.
Season 2 just came out, and so we're just starting though at the beginning because I never saw the first season.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good one. Also on Hulu though, I started watching a movie at lunchtime. When I finished The Devil All the Time, I jumped into this movie called Low Life, and it's been on my radar for a super long time. And I'm not sure if we ever talked about it on the podcast or if it was like pre-podcast. I saw this movie called Low Life. It came out in the theaters limited. It's like super indie, the most indie movie ever. And it gives me like the strongest Pulp Fiction vibes you've ever heard. But it's basically, the concept is there's this luchador dude and he calls himself El Monstracio. He's like the monster. He's like from a family of luchador wrestlers. And he's working, his father and his grandfather were these huge powerful men, and they were like they got to be almost like legends. They were like 8 feet tall, and they always took care of the poor and helped the needy and all this stuff. And then when he was younger, the current monster guy, he killed someone when he was 15, and his family kicked him out. He was also the runt, so he was only like 6 foot. He was much smaller, so they didn't think he was a very good. And so he ends up moving from Mexico to California and working for this drug dealer as like his like hitman kind of a thing. And he's trying to redeem himself in being the monstrous, And so he works really hard. And they do a very similar thing like Pulp Fiction did originally, where they tell the same story from multiple views. So like the first one is like the monsters, and then it tells like for half hour, it tells you the story. Then it comes up again and it's like the thugs. It tells you a different story, the same story, but from these other guys' point of view. And then it's like the victims, and it tells you the same story from this other point of view. And it's just really well done. It's super dark humor. It's well acted for the most part. There's a few terrible actors, but they do something really smart where, because it was an indie movie and they don't have a ton of budget, because he talks about how he was always able to beat people even though he was smaller, because the one thing he had that no one else had was rage. And so every time he gets into like a moment where he's like getting ready to beat someone's ass or kill him or whatever it is, he goes, ah! And then you hear this like buzzing noise, like you have tinnitus, that zzz, and then the screen goes black, and he wakes up laying on the ground, and he had blacked out. So they don't show the audience what happens either. So they don't have to show the massacre. You just see the aftermath.
Right.
And it's always like this bloody mess of people, and you're like, oh, so it leaves you to your imagination. What the hell just happened? And that, I thought it was super clever. So I recommend the movie Low Life if you enjoy indie movies and ultra violence.
He's like little Wolverine.
Yeah, he's like a total like Wolverine dude. And he wears his luchador mask the entire time. He never takes it off. And I haven't watched the whole thing yet because I've been watching it at lunch in increments. But I've seen about 2/3 of it. I have a half hour left. And it's really short. It's only an hour and a half long movie. But I've enjoyed it so far. But unless the ending turns out terrible, it's been pretty good.
There's your mashup right there. You should make a Mandalorian luchador mask.
Oh yeah, that'd be a really good idea. I should totally do that. So yeah, Low Life. It's on Hulu for anybody who wants to check it out.
Nice.
Ooh, somebody's booming music outside. I'm having quite the day. Over on Apple TV, my quick review of Ted Lasso, because I really like Ted Lasso still. Yeah, I'm almost done with it. I think there's only an episode or 2 left. But it's been really good. So anybody who likes Jason Sudeikis, And I don't know, like you guys know what I'm talking about when you watch like a feel good movie and just like it's one of those movies. There's nothing really bad ever happens, but it's constantly making you just like, oh yeah, root for the people and feel
Let's
good. And it's
go.
fun. Yeah, this is an entire television show of that. Every episode has feel good moments every 15 minutes. So if you're looking for a pick me up in these kind of like dark times we're all living in, this terrible timeline, I recommend Ted Lasso.
So like I use a lot of Reddit now
Yeah,
because Reddit's pretty cool.
Reddit is very
And they
cool.
have this subreddit called eye bleach.
Oh yeah,
So is that like
yeah.
the
Ted
eye
Lasso
bleach?
could be. Yeah, if you watch Low Life and you're like, oh my God, what have I just done? Watch
Yeah.
yourself some Ted Lasso immediately following, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm good.
Oh yeah, eye bleach is like, stuff that makes you feel good about yourself, cleans of the eye or something like
Yeah,
that.
like kittens and
Yeah.
puppies
Yeah.
and unicorns. What's your favorite eye bleach that you've ever seen?
Oh, I don't really
You don't need it?
I don't need it. There's just too many like animals on there. Like
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of kittens and dogs.
Yeah,
Well, oh, that's
babies
cute.
probably. Cute
Yeah.
little babies in grown up outfits.
Yeah, the one I like going to is called Justice Served,
Oh, yeah?
to where
That's when
everybody,
someone gets what they deserve.
yeah, dude. And you see the ending, you're like, that's what you get, fool.
I have to add that one. I do love me some Reddit now too. I probably visit Reddit once a week, or even more than that, maybe a couple of times a week. Probably daily at any moment. So one thing I need to learn is how to pick the right subreddits because I keep seeing the same memes and
Yeah.
posts over and over again. Because I picked a bunch. I thought, oh, I like this, I like that, I like this, and then you look at your timeline and you keep seeing the same thing over and over again because apparently my likes are too similar.
Yeah. Like I use a lot of Reddit because the people on there help you a lot. For example, when I was building my PC,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm a noob, first time building PC. What do you think of this build? And all the bros and broettes on there like, you
Yeah.
need to do this, you need to replace this. So they like, it's a good community, like, for the most
Nice.
part.
So if you're doing some sort of hobby or something and want some like advice, there's
Yeah.
all sorts of people that are willing to help.
Yeah, and they're always like, those Facebook groups like, no negative comments, or you'll
Nice.
get banned and stuff like that. So
That is the one thing I did notice about Reddit is it doesn't have people talking a lot of politics like you get on all the other stuff. Like I run into it
Yeah.
very rarely, once in a while, but not as often.
yeah, you'll have to go to that subreddit.
Yeah, you'd have to make your if you don't want that, you'd have to make your timeline that if you're into it. But I like getting away from all that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of Reddit.
Yeah. Yeah. Though did you see that HBO on HBO Max that The Watchmen won 11 Emmys? They just recently
Wow.
had the Emmys. They won 11 Emmys. I saw that Schitt's Creek won a shit ton of Emmys. Apparently,
Shit.
like
A
yeah,
shit ton.
shit. The best part about Schitt's Creek is people can say shit now all the time because we're not saying
Yeah.
shit. We're saying shit. It's completely
Yeah,
different.
shit.
Yeah, shit, not shit.
Yeah, they deserve it. It's a good show.
It's a great show. In fact,
Yeah.
here's the best part about them winning a ton of Emmys is they got a lot of press. And my wife has never seen that show, and all of a sudden she's
really?
interested in watching it. So I might have to watch it a second time because I think she would like it.
What's the main guy's name? Dave?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should be in more shows or TVs or movies.
Yeah, I was thinking too because he's a good actor. He's excellent representation for the gay community. So I was thinking, it would be kind of fun is if he was a superhero. They should totally get him to be like a totally out superhero.
Oh
Because
yeah.
he's like a good looking dude. He's funny. I mean, he would fit right into either universe, Marvel or DC.
Right. So is he gay in real life?
Yes. Yeah.
Because in Schitt's Creek he plays pansexual.
Yes. He plays pansexual, but then in the end he ends up marrying a man. So, but yeah.
I
So
mean-
he's gay in real life. He gives a lot of great representation to a lot of people. That's why they have such an amazing fan base. Because if you watch when Schitt's Creek ends, they have an hour-long documentary, and they were following all the people around. And man, when they show up to like a city, the amount of people that show up to like just cheer them on, and they have straight up Schitt's Creek parades, and
Wow.
it's incredible. Yeah.
Well, what's so great about Schitt's Creek is that they don't shove that in your face, They don't do that for the sake of doing that.
Yeah.
It's just well written and well acted and well represented.
And that's what Dan Levy said. Is he said that this isn't a TV show about gay people or pansexual or any sexuality at all. He goes, this is just a funny TV show, and the character happens to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they don't ever take the time to purposely focus on it. And I thought that's what makes it feel really authentic.
You know why it's a good show? Because it's Canadian.
It's Canadian, man. The Canadians got it.
You're
Canadians
right.
are just the best North Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Schitt's Creek won a ton of awards. The Watchmen won all the ones that Schitt's Creek didn't win. I saw that they won best actress in a drama, best actor, best like side character, best screenplay. They all won all sorts of stuff. So anybody that has HBO or HBO Max that hasn't watched The Watchmen yet, you gotta get on it because it's good.
Oh yeah.
And then some other HBO news is y'all may have heard that DC Universe is officially kaput with making multimedia. They're converting over to just doing comics. So if you have DC Universe, you're not gonna be able to see any of the TV shows they used to have. And they had slowly started putting them on HBO Max. But the best news that came out of this is all of it's coming to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super stoked, and HBO apparently has signed a big deal with DC, so they're the DC network. And in the biggest breaking news, just recently came out, John Cena is going to star as the Peacemaker in a Suicide Squad spinoff, and I'm like, let's go! I hope it's good. I have no idea really who the Peacemaker is because I don't know that Suicide Squad characters that well, but I'm down.
If you look up his character, it says something like, Peacemaker loves peace so much he's willing to kill for it.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. It seems like it's like dark funny, right? So, and John Cena works best when he's not trying to be serious. The few times that I've really enjoyed him and stuff is when he's being kind of silly. So if he just runs around and acts kind of stupid and kills people trying to bring peace, let's go. Let's do it.
Like cock blockers.
Yeah, exactly. He was perfect in that. Just enough of him, and he gets to be funny.
Unlike Bumblebee.
Oh my God, yeah, that's terrible. So hopefully they've learned that you should not make John Cena try to actually act. He's good at being silly, and we gotta leave it at that.
Oh, since we're in HBO Max,
yeah, give us some more Lovecraft.
Yeah, I'll go Lovecraft first.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This episode caught me so off guard, dude, because like at the very episode 1, you kind of get the point where that he was talking to like a Korean girl, right, on the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. From when he was in the war.
Yeah. Because it was like the
he was like in the Korean War.
Yeah. And so they go and do that part of the story, and you get to see that side.
Nice. Was it good?
Yeah, it was.
Really? Oh, this is the one you were telling me offline where it's a very adult oriented episode.
Yeah, you know when they give you the little parental thing like violence,
sexual situations,
nudity, and we're like, whoa, we're back to HBO, baby, let's go.
Nice. So they went full first season Game of Thrones and gave us a bunch of naked ladies.
Yeah, like multiple times. So
nice.
it got me back on track, man. And back to the 8,
so what
baby.
You're saying
let's
is
go.
I need to keep watching Lovecraft. What episode is that? How many episodes is that past the Indiana Jones episode?
Like
2?
2, I think.
Okay. So I need to catch up.
But I think that episode, it was, I don't know. For me, I kind of liked it because it dealt a lot with like, prejudice too, but in Korea. And
really?
How
towards the Koreans?
Well, like how he doesn't get the same treatment like how he gets in the US, how, because, there's the white and the blacks.
They're not as racist against him.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a hot take.
And then last podcast, we said that Raised by Wolves season 1 was only 5 episodes. Yeah. We were totally wrong.
Turns out we're like dirty liars.
Yeah, like, we don't know our stuff.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. But like The Boys, they released the first 5 episodes, and I watched that, and they've been doing it weekly.
Okay. That's cool because you were like, it feels like they just stopped.
Yeah, dude, the ending terrible. Yeah.
Well, good. So do you think that means we're going to get another 5 episodes?
I think so, because I saw that it's been renewed for season 2.
Oh, excellent. Very cool. So
And
did it get any better with these new episodes?
I haven't watched. I just found that out like the other day. I was like,
Okay.
I was watching Lovecraft. I'm like, wait a minute, episode 6. What's going on? And then there's like 2 more episodes that I haven't watched yet. I'm like, oh shit, we were
Nice.
totally wrong.
Nice. Good. Well, that's awesome. Hopefully it gets a little bit better because you were saying that it kind of fell off a little bit for you.
But I feel like since like I know that there's more episodes,
There's more now.
My thought about it was like maybe these are just a development, the story development, and then it gets gets better. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to
Cool.
see.
No, I hope so. Very, very, very cool. So streaming over to Disney Plus, they had some big news. WandaVision, they put out a trailer for WandaVision. So this is both a Disney Plus and Tasty trailer, but it looks awesome. And WandaVision, like we mentioned last episode, has jumped ahead. It's actually coming out now before Falcon and Winter Soldier. We learned a lot from it. So apparently WandaVision is going to come out we're thinking November now from everything we've seen, either November or December, maybe early December, because I don't think it's going to come out before The Mandalorian finishes.
Yeah.
Kind of like we talked about before. But did you pick up any like Easter eggs from the trailer?
I didn't watch it like zone in for the Easter eggs.
So one of the things that we saw is that she has babies. They're twin babies. And what we know from the comics is those babies are Wiccan and Speed. And last episode, we were talking about Young Avengers and who's going to be in the Young Avengers. Guess who's in the Young Avengers? Wiccan and Speed. Yeah. So you got it's just like a little witchy chick and a real speedster guy. And so Wiccan and Speed are in the Young Avengers. We also saw a character that everybody on Reddit, since we do like Reddit, was saying is probably the Marvel Comics witch, Agatha Harkness. And Agatha, that's why when she's the one that's actually dressed like a witch, like it's Halloween, and they're all dressed in their costumes, and Scarlet Witch is dressed in old school Scarlet Witch costume, and Vision's old school Vision. And then he goes out to her car, and she goes, am I dead? And he's like, no, why? He goes, because you are. And they're saying that she probably knows what's happening because she's also a witch. And so I've seen so many rumors about the fact that maybe they are going to bring Vision back, and there's something crazy going on, and maybe the Scarlet Witch has managed to manifest him or something back into the real world. So I don't know what to think.
So this whole season is going to be like Scarlet Witch repairing Vision, and we get to see the repair.
Yeah, maybe. They said there's different villains involved, and I don't know. So it looks really trippy. That's all I can say for it right now.
Yeah.
I like that we're getting it this year, and the trailer is awesome. So if anybody hasn't seen the trailer, go out and watch the WandaVision trailer because we're getting it before the end of the year.
Nice. One Marvel show at least.
One Marvel show. We'll take it, right?
Yeah.
I have one tasty trailer before we jump to break. And so my one tasty trailer stays in the Marvel universe. So this is pretty cool. So Hulu is doing the more adult-oriented Marvel stuff. And so Hulu dropped a trailer for Hellstrom. And I think we may have even talked about this a little bit in a former podcast, that Hellstrom is based originally, the comic version of it, is a couple kids that are the children of Satan. And they've reconfigured it a little bit for TV. So now they're the children of this female serial killer. And all sorts of like satanic stuff is happening. And
Yeah.
it looks pretty interesting. I mean, did you have any thoughts on the trailer?
I mean, if you didn't tell me that it was Marvel, I
Right.
would have never guessed that it was a Marvel show.
Yeah, so Marvel's confirmed that it is part of the MCU, but
Oh.
they're not advertising it, with all the Marvel stuff, which is
Yeah.
interesting. It says, per Hulu, the show synopsis said that the son and daughter of a mysterious and powerful serial killer, Hellstrom follows Damon and Anna Hellstrom on their complicated dynamic as they track down the worst of humanity, each with their own attitude and skills. It's going to be 10 episodes. And here's the best part. Unlike a lot of Hulu, they're dropping all 10 episodes at once
Oh,
on October
go.
16th. Yeah.
to me, it looked like a supernatural show.
It reminded me of like Constantine,
Yeah.
or what was that show that was recently on Fox? It was like a devil type show.
Lucifer.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Lucifer. It does say that Hellstrom is branded as a Marvel Cinematic Universe show. Its new trailer and prior Comic-Con teaser suggest a bit of stylistic departure from our superhero franchise myriad of films and other TV shows. The Hellstrom comics are rooted in satanic horror, and various teases of the series suggest that it will be a much darker affair than most other Marvel Cinematic Universe titles. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens.
They're doing what New Mutants was gonna do.
Yeah, what they try to do with New
Yeah.
Mutants. That show was, I guess, that was a huge, huge major flop. So it's like, sorry, dude.
I think
there
I'll
you go.
watch it for
next month.
I'm gonna watch it for the sake of the podcast, though.
I'll watch it just because it's connected to Marvel at all. You know, because I'm a sucker for Marvel. So anything that claims to be Marvel, I'm like, I'm all in, baby.
Yeah, and I was looking at the actress and actors. I don't even know any of
Yeah.
them. I'm like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah, I didn't recognize anybody from it either. So that was,
Yeah,
you know, it's like I said, like just like the last episode, it kind of helps though with scary stuff. And this is, I think it's coming out in the month of October for a reason, because it's a little scarier,
yeah,
and so it like lends to the fantasy.
yeah.
So nothing wrong with that. I think this is the perfect time to take a break. On the flip side of the break, I'm gonna hit you with, guess what? I got a brand new hot tater music.
Wow.
Something we haven't done in
Been a
forever.
while.
Yeah, lots of episodes ago. I have a Future Is Now. We're bringing back some old categories. You know, I hope everybody's excited to start having flying cameras. You know, we're going to keep you safe. And in the news jacuzzi, I've got the funniest story about a dentist. I've got some hot Damian Lillard localized news. Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart. Tom Cruise, we're shipping his ass to space. And you won't believe what Mark Cuban says we should do to save the U.S. We'll see you guys on the flippity flip. Need affordable graphic design? VisualanteDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualanteDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project. I was going to play, so I have this chunk of music, and I'm going to play it on the computer, and then you can just replace it because I downloaded it with the real version. But this way we can kind of hear it and react naturally to it.
Okay.
Okay. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody, to Audionots, your palette cleanser, your pop culture palette cleanser. We're bringing back a category we haven't talked about in a long time called Hot Taters, where we talk about interesting and unique music that maybe you've never heard. So the other day, and I'm trying to even think of how the hell I ran into this, because I'm not certain that I remember how, but I came across on the YouTubes, you know, you get down one of those like YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Like you're listening and watching things. And I came across this group called Hildegard von Blingen.
Say that again.
Hildegard von Blingen. So I haven't actually played any of this for Ren, so the audience and Ren are going to be able to hear this at the same time. And the best part about Hildegard von Blingen is they're an unsigned band that put on their SoundCloud that it was perfectly okay for us to use their music in our podcasts as long as we made sure to reference them. So we're going to play a quick track. I'm going to let you hear it. I'm not going to even tell you what it is, what kind of music it is, so you can hear it. So basically, I'll give you this. What they do is they take contemporary music and they give their own spin to it. And I've only picked one, and then we'll talk about some of the other ones. But here's one of the more popular tracks from Hildegard von Blingen.
Robert hath a swift hand, he doth gaze upon the field, and he maketh a plan, and he hath a jaunty cap. Perched upon his head he is a longbowman, he did find an old bow of yew, and a quiver of arrows in his father's chest, wherefore I cannot say, but he cometh for thee, yea, he cometh for thee. Oh, ye bully rooks with your buckskin boots, best ye go, outrun my paw. Oh, ye bully rooks with your buckskin boots, best ye go, faster than mine arrow. Oh, ye Stew is in the pot, though it doth taste of grit. I have waited ere long. Now mine eye is quick, and mine arm is strong. I reason with my crooked cap, and say thou art an
All right,
art.
so there's a taste of it. So basically, what Hildegard von Blingen does is they take newer songs and they do them in what they call Bardcore style. Bard being just like, I think for you and me, remember the bard that follows the Witcher around?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so genius, and this sent me down the greatest rabbit hole ever, because Bardcore apparently is its own musical genre.
Really?
Yeah. And so these fools, and there's tons of bands apparently. Like I went on Spotify. I really had hoped that I could add these guys on Spotify, but they're so like unfamous at this point. You can't find them on Spotify. You can only find Hildegard von Blingen on SoundCloud and YouTube. And be careful, because there's another group, and I think they're making fun of a real group that does this like bard music called Hildegard von Bingen. And so it's the L that makes it silly, the blinging part of it. And so, but what's unique about them is there's a lot of people that take current music and they play it with like the old school, Renaissance fair type instruments.
Yeah.
But what makes them, I think, extra unique is not only does the girl have a beautiful voice, but she changes the lyrics completely to fit the time.
Yeah.
And they do all sorts of songs. And so this is just one of many. They do like Taylor Swift songs. They do all sorts of music. And so I just really like, all the pumped up kicks basically.
Yeah.
But she's talking about boots and better run faster than her arrows because she's got her bow, and she does the rhymes so perfect.
Yeah, for me, my favorite genre is like indie folk-ish pop,
Yeah.
like Of Monster and Men,
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, it kind of sounded in that genre in a way too. But the way she sings. Yeah.
It's fun to almost imagine it like in a castle with a bunch of squires and knights and have someone singing, because she changes the lyrics to fit the time. And like it had my creative juices start flowing. I thought, I'm gonna write me a script where this would take place. So it's like it's old, but it's got this contemporary music, but they fixed it. Like I'd hire these fools just to make a TV show or a movie, because I was like so into it. And I highly recommend that everybody jumps on the YouTubes. What's nice about the YouTube versus the SoundCloud is it shows the lyrics. There's no actual anything special with the videos other than it gives you almost like a karaoke version of the lyrics.
Oh, nice.
But it's really cool, and they have so many good songs.
I can imagine like the bard just singing that while the Witcher's going like, kill everybody. Freaking genius.
So there's your hot tater that you're not going to hear anywhere else.
Yeah.
Only on Audionots are you going to hear Bardcore.
Bardcore. Like hardcore?
Yeah,
What's bard?
Yeah, they've taken the word bard and they mashed it with hardcore. So I think it's pretty genius. Good on them. So moving over to our next category, the future is now. We need to come up with a sounder, like, I don't know, something futuristic, maybe some robots.
Like pew 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 pew.
Is now. Just today, so all these tech companies have been doing their yearly, look at what we got. We had the Sonys and the Microsofts of the world doing it. We talked about Oculus and all those guys. Well, Ring and Amazon did theirs today. And so Amazon announced a few new Echoes and a partnership with Tesla. But Ring also announced some new things. And the thing that really caught my eye, because I couldn't believe this was real and it's actually going to happen, the future is now, is Ring is making a drone camera called the Always Home Cam. And it's going to retail for $250. I went back and I watched a video. They actually have like a little
teaser
commercial.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think about this? I don't know. What do you think about it?
I felt like it was so jokey. It's like, are you for reals?
Yeah, if this had come out in April, you would assume it was a prank.
I just have so many questions about it.
Yeah, it says basically that Ring's latest security camera is a drone that flies around inside of your house. It's an ambitious new home security device. Says Ring's home security camera is taking flight literally. The new Always Home Cam is an autonomous drone that can fly around the inside of your home, to give you a perspective of any room you want when you're not home. Once it's done flying, the Always Home cam returns to its dock to charge its battery. It's expected to go for $249.99 and start shipping next year. I was like, what the heck? How is this a thing?
Dude, I love the marketing team behind that because there's one sentence where it was like, it makes a humming noise so that it could alert people that it's recording it, it's actually working.
Versus it makes a humming noise inside your house because it's a drone.
Yeah, it's like we couldn't get rid of it, so we're gonna use it as like a feature.
Yeah, I thought the same thing because it's like everybody knows drones are super loud because they've often talked about how drones make excellent videography for weddings, but only outdoor weddings because of the noise that they make. And so that's what these guys are trying to do. They're trying to make an indoor drone that doesn't make noise. And when they realized they couldn't, they just said it was a feature.
Yeah. And it says that it could like you could program flight patterns into it, or you could control it manually too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how the hell do you do flight patterns? Like, is it gonna know how your house is, or is it gonna sense where it's going, or what? You know?
I think it must be almost like one of those autonomous vacuums, right? So when you put that down, it creates like a shield around everything, and it knows where it can go and where it won't run into things.
Yeah.
So it says that the camera can be used for simply checking on things like if you left the stove on or a window open or if a door is unlocked when you're away from home. It features obstacle avoidance technology to allow you to avoid objects in its path, and it is shrouded in propellers to prevent damage to property or hurting a pet or person that it might collide with. Because the first thing I'm thinking is my cats are going to rip that thing out of the sky. That thing comes flying through the living room.
Yeah.
I guarantee you my cats, Miso and Saki, are going to eat the shit out of it. They're going to rip it down. They're going to pull it apart, and it'll be dead instantly.
Yeah, because one of the features was them saying that you could look at your pets while you're at work or something, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like they invented it. You know, I think we even said this last time. A lot of technology is made specifically to set you up for the next things.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they don't even know how to sell this because they're like, well, it's kind of like a flying around camera, but you'll probably never use it.
You know who should use this?
Who?
Freaking like OnlyFans models, man.
Oh my God, it's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the OnlyFans chicks out there that are listening, this is it, man. Honestly, $250 is not a bad price for a flying camera because I remember when these cameras were real expensive. Just a sit on the wall camera was $250, but now you can buy blinks and rings and a million other versions for like $20. The last blink that I bought, because that's what I use to protect my house with, they're only like $24.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it looks like a handheld fan, you know?
It looks like every kid's toy drone you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so, but it's got a camera on it and it's autonomous supposedly. I'll be interested to see more about it when they release more about it. So
I think the best part was the commercial they did. Like,
well, the robber comes in. So
yeah,
on the commercial, the guy's like, it's like the most like cheesy looking like cat burglar you've ever seen. It's like the Ronald McDonald guy is gonna steal some burgers.
Yeah.
He breaks into the house and the drone goes because the guy's like at work and he's like controlling the drone. I guess you control it with your phone or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So he's like controlling it and it comes because it's loud. Like flying into the living room. And the guy's like, "Oh no!" And he runs the hell away.
Yeah, that's all it takes, man.
Yeah, I think he'd swat it down and be like, shit, I'm taking this selling on eBay. And then you'd see the guy rob you blind and take your drone.
Yeah. Well, it makes noise, so, you know, the robber knows that it's recording and it's working. That's why he's scared.
It's like, oh. So maybe at the best, they would think somebody was home. Right? You see a drone flying around, you assume somebody was home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of a weird deal. I'm interested to see how it kind of turns out if they actually sell any of these things. But there you go.
Well, they say that they made this because they were listening to the people. This is what people wanted. Well,
people said, I want a flying camera in my house.
People said that they don't want to have a blink. What do you have?
A blink. Yeah.
A blink in every damn room. And they're like, what's the solution to that? A drone.
Well, I guess you have to give him credit for trying because you're right. It does take you down to one camera, but honestly, for $250, you could buy a blink for
Yeah.
every room.
Just wait for what the porn industry is gonna do with this, man. I'm telling you.
I can't wait.
Cam girl live, dude, right there.
Yeah, always home with your cam girl.
See, you already got it.
It's genius. All right, so moving on to our news jacuzzi. All right, let's dip our toes in this first story. This is fun because you and I in our real jobs are 7 degrees away from the dental community, and so we deal with dentists here and there, marketing things. And I came across this story that just happened. A dentist was sentenced to 12 years for extracting a tooth. 12 years in prison. You want to know why? You know what he did wrong? Why he was extracting in his tooth that got him in trouble?
Wrong tooth.
No, I mean that would be bad, but would you get 12 years in prison?
He stuck something that he wasn't supposed to. I don't know. Well, tell us.
I almost guarantee that's happened in other dentists for sure, but no. So this dentist was, I think they said he was in. I should have brought that story up again. So this is all from the Dome. I believe he was from Fairbanks, Alaska, because they're all bored there anyways. So he's kind of a younger guy. He decided to extract a tooth from a younger female patient while on a hoverboard. You know those little things you stand on with 2 wheels that drive around that everybody had to have 5 years ago. So
For TikTok?
yeah, exactly. So they filmed him. That's how he got in trouble. Is an assistant filmed him. So he hoverboards in, and he does the entire extraction while hovering around on the hoverboard while never stepping off or falling. And as soon as he gets the tooth out, he holds it up in victory and then zooms away down the hall on his hoverboard and like raising his hands. And so it turns out that it's not so good for someone who's doing a surgical procedure on a person that's under anesthesia to enjoy it on a hoverboard. So they considered it to be medical negligence. And that comes with a serious fine and jail time. And he ended up getting 12 years. They got him good.
How many views though?
More now, I'm sure. So if you want to see you just have to look up like dentist extraction hoverboard or something on the YouTubes. I'm sure you'd find it. It's really not even that fun to watch. It's kind of boring.
I mean, that's pretty good, dude, to do extraction on the hoverboard.
Yeah, no, I give him credit, and he looks like he got the whole tooth out because, like I said, we're just adjacent to the dental community. We know how hard it is sometimes for extractions. They break and they have to chop all the pieces out. That's why it takes a really long time. Your mouth hurts forever. This fool yanked the whole damn thing out in one fell swoop and then rolled off victorious on his hoverboard. I mean, we should be going, damn, this guy's a good dentist. I want to go to him. 5 stars. He can pull teeth on a hoverboard.
The people, you need to get on the socials and demand him to be released.
Yeah, we want to get Santa Clarita Diet back, and we need to get this guy out of jail. Yeah, because that was just dope.
He gets out of jail. Every new patient gets hoverboard.
Everybody gets a hoverboard.
Yeah,
I agree. So that was just cracking me up. The things that get you in trouble these days. So
things you do
for all the other orthos and dentists out there, don't mess around hoverboards.
Well, as Johnny would say, the tic tac.
The tic tac. Yeah. Trying to get popular on the tic tac on your hoverboard.
Yeah.
So yeah, there it is. My next story is more localized. Here in the little town that I live in, I just found out that our homie Damian Lillard,
friend of the show,
NBA All-Star, is opening or has purchased the Toyota car dealership here in town. And so supposedly he's supposed to be here tomorrow. I know this is the time will be a little bit weird when everybody hears it, but he's going to come in, introduce himself to the staff, and then I'm really hoping that we'll have some opportunities to get photos with him. So all you audio nuts out there who like NBA guys, watch for future photographs of our Instagram and Twitter of Ren and I with Damian Lillard pretending to buy a Toyota.
Wait, can we like visit tomorrow?
I don't think anybody's really supposed to know. So this is hot breaking news information that no one's supposed to know about, but I happened to get the lead in on it because I knew the right people. But yeah, I mean, you could probably show up, but I don't know what time it's happening. I just
Right.
know it's tomorrow.
We're looking to test drive a Tacoma.
Yeah, I actually want a Tacoma, and I am going to demand that I'm not going to buy a Tacoma or test drive it if Damian Lillard's not in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
So I just probably anybody listening anywhere else is like, what a dumb story. I don't care, because it's not uncommon for athletes to own car dealerships, and I don't know why that's the go-to, but it really is. If anybody out there, I can almost guarantee you, no matter what state you live in, there is a dealership owned by an athlete, former football player, basketball player, baseball player. For whatever reason, everybody's money managers tells them that's where to go. So if you have a lot of money, buy a car dealership, because it must be a good investment.
Yeah, because I on my way to work, because
Yeah.
I drive by that Toyota,
Yep.
because I knew what that store is, so I kind of peeked over, and
Yeah.
they were like fixing the inside.
Oh,
You could see
It's
all
because-
sorts of wood and stuff.
yeah. From what I've been told from my insider information, basically he bought it, got rid of everybody, cleaned house, got all new employees. He's remodeling parts of it, and he's making it his thing. So it would be unusual for him not to use his likeness and his popularity to sell cars. So I would imagine that they will have Damian Lillard events. I think that there will probably be like everybody gets a free signed basketball or something. They'll have some dorky gimmick for when you buy cars from them. And like I said, I really am in the market for a Toyota Tacoma. And honestly, I know Damian Lillard won't ride with me, but I'd be totally stoked if they gave me a signed jersey or basketball all day.
Yeah. Plus, I'm pretty sure once they announce it to the public, there'll be some kind of like meet and greet sort of thing.
Gotta be, right?
Right.
Gotta be.
And-
Free hot dog, meet Dame. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll wait though until after COVID. He
Yeah.
might wait until after COVID.
Plus, I know that in your town they had a Blazer thing, and we went there, and there
Yeah.
wasn't that much people.
No, yeah,
So-
it's a small town. This town is only about 35,000 people, and I'm not sure. There's a bunch of rednecks. They don't know basketball.
Yeah, so
So-
hopefully when they do that meet and greet, we could probably go and like meet them
Yeah,
without
that'd be,
a ton of people there.
yeah, without having to like wait in line forever.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Good marketing for him. Speaking of good marketing, have you seen the new Uber Eats commercials? There's a whole series of them. So Uber
Oh,
Eats,
no.
is like Grubhub or any of these other ones. They deliver food to your house from your favorite restaurant, and they've hired Luke Skywalker and Captain Picard together to star in these really dorky Uber Eats commercials. And I saw one the other day for the first time. I think I was watching one of the playoff games, and I think they had it
okay.
on during the playoff game. And so I went online and looked, and they have a whole series of these things where Patrick Stewart and Mark Hamill kind of face off. And in the first one, they almost look like they're getting ready to rumble. It's like kind of this dark, seedy basement-looking thing, maybe like a parking garage. And each one of them has like a baseball bat, like they're about to straight up like fight each other on who's the best, maybe like sci-fi space character, Captain Picard or Luke Skywalker. And the answer is Luke Skywalker for anybody that's interested. And Luke Skywalker is saying something about how he's the best, and Patrick Picard is saying how he's the best. And then all of a sudden it goes ding dong, and their Uber Eats both arrives, and they both look into the camera, and one guy's like, "Oh, my vegan fish tacos are here," and the other guy's like, "Oh, my blah 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 blah, sushi is here," and they both just sit down and eat, and they're happy because they got their Uber Eats. And so every commercial is kind of like that. Like another one shows them playing like chess, and they're both arguing over who's the more popular sci-fi character, and then same thing, ding dong, and my hamburger is here.
Whole gimmick, huh?
Yeah, total gimmick, but
Yeah,
I got to give him credit for going full nerd. So what I like about this, or what I thought was kind of clever, is Uber Eats went full nerd, right? They're grabbing our audience, those people who know Luke Skywalker, those people, those nerdy people who know Luke Skywalker, who know Captain Picard, and then they're putting it on in the middle of a sporting event. I'm like, let's go. I mean, has there ever been anything more aimed at like you and I? Because we're like some of the few nerdy guys who really like sports too.
Right.
So it caught my attention.
Yeah, it makes you stay for the commercials. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean they're not even that clever as commercials. I mean it's the same concept every time. I'm better than you, and then oh wait, we're all good because we got Uber Eats. The beef is over.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're hangry.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what they should have called it, like sci-fi hangry. So I mean, sci-fi, they're not afraid to get crazy with the sci-fi stuff, and getting crazy with sci-fi is what Tom Cruise has been doing. In this next story, we've talked about that. I think that we hinted on this maybe in past episodes, but Tom Cruise has signed on to be in a brand new film that's going to be filmed exclusively in space. And so we heard about this and we thought, well, what the hell? I mean, this has got to be, talk about gimmicky. This has got to be some sort of gimmick. But a manifest, and a manifest is what tells you who's going to be on a ship of some sort. You have manifest when you get stuff sent on, cargo ships and trains and things like that. Well, Elon Musk also has a manifest for the spaceships that he's been sending up into space, and they're starting to actually put regular people on these things. And the manifest for one of his latest spacecrafts that's getting ready to go up, I think in like November or December, had Tom Cruise's name on it along with a videographer guy. So the two of them are flying into space to shoot scenes.
Man, when he say he does his own stunts,
You're not messing around.
yeah. Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Going
this
space.
God damn, exactly. Tom Cruise does not mess around. He's always bragging, because I don't know if everybody knows this, but Tom Cruise does all of his own stunts,
Yeah.
which drives the people that insure him, I'm sure, absolutely batty. But like, for instance, on the last Mission Impossible, where he's like hanging from the side of the
airplane?
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that in real life. It wasn't even like green screen. They flew that thing up in the air for a little bit and landed with him hanging on the outside of the plane.
Yeah.
When he jumps motorcycles, it's Tom Cruise. When he jumps out of like planes with parachutes, it's Tom Cruise. When he's hanging off the sides of mountains, Tom Cruise.
When he's out of space?
Yeah, when he's in outer space, he's in outer space.
Damn.
And they said there was one spot open, and they think it's possible that Elon Musk might ride on his own spaceship for the first time to go with them on this
Wow.
particular flight.
So are they making like Fast and the Furious 9 or something?
I know, because they've talked about Fast and the Furious taking place in space. So, but yeah, this opens a whole new world of film, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm curious if any of us could even know the difference. Like, if it's just a gimmick to say, yeah, this film was really took place in space, or if we end up watching going, that don't look real. The flat earthers are gonna be so pissed.
Yeah.
No, there's a round world. My last story, let me ask you this. So this is a pretty neat story I just read about. Would you be excited if you found out the government was ready to give you $2,000 every 2 weeks for 2 months?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sign me up, right? So Mark Cuban, and he's most famous for owning the Dallas Mavericks and being the one person people know on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban has the ear of Congress because he's a bajillionaire and people listen to what he has to say. He's come up with a plan that he started pushing last year, and he's been pushing even harder now. And he's been saying it from the very beginning of hardcore COVID that we need to stimulate the economy. And so his plan is to give every single person, every single 18-year-old and over adult, whether you're poor, rich, or whatever, as long as you're here, you would get $2,000 every 2 weeks for 2 months. Now, here's the catch. You have to spend it in 10 days.
Hell yeah.
Right? So the whole idea is that it's going to stimulate the economy. They're hoping that you get the $2,000, and it's like, for some people, it's the necessities. They're going to go out and they got to buy food, pay rent, but they're still spending it locally, right? For some of us who may already be okay, now we've got this extra spending money, and we'll spend it on other things to help stimulate the economy. Yeah. So what a deal, man. And they're talking about how they would actually pull it off. How could you force people to spend it and not just keep it and store it away? So they were saying they put it on these debit cards that they would send you a new one every 2 weeks. And then after the 10 days, it would be trash. You couldn't do anything with it. So maybe you could get around it. And somehow, I don't think you could take it to a bank. They wouldn't allow you to do that. But maybe you buy something for less than, or I'm not sure how it would work. But the idea is they really want you to spend it in your local economy.
Can I get cash back?
Right. Can I go buy $2,000 worth of Starbucks? Something crazy. So let me ask you this. And this is never going to happen, I'm sure. But in a fantasy world, what are you buying with your $2,000?
Podcast deck, baby.
Nice. Yeah, because think about it. I mean, that's what, $8,000 over the 2 months that you'd get to have. mean, you could buy a lot, but you have to spend it all at once. So maybe you could go buy a car, put the $2,000 down payment, then pay $2,000 off every 2 weeks.
Buy a house, dude. Let's go.
I don't know if you could buy a house. You'd have to have some other money saved up. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you could buy. I mean, you could buy a lot of things for $2,000 every 2 weeks. That's $1,000 a week.
Damn. Oh, I need a new drone.
Yeah, you can get yourself a all day at home drone.
Probably get both PS5 and Xbox S.
It's amazing, like all the cool things you could get.
You know how like there's certain like subscriptions like Amazon where you could pay for the whole year.
Yeah.
Like, can I pay for like 5 years?
Right. Or maybe you go and you figure out how to change it into like gift cards, and then you can make it last longer than your 10 days.
Deposit it to our scoreboard app.
You want to hear what a degenerate I am? That's the first thing I actually thought of, because I read that story and I thought, well, I could make $2,000 worth of bets. Turn that $2,000 into $10,000 overnight and then take it right back.
Yeah, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, because there's a lot of sure bets you don't like to do because you barely make any money. But you go put on like something that you think is a sure bet, put $2,000 on it, and get like $500 back, pull $2,500 out instantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, pretty cool.
Let's go, Cuban.
Yeah, that's everything. But everybody should vote for Mark Cuban, even though he's not running for anything.
Yeah, well, just give us that 2 G's a month. I mean,
yeah,
2 G's per couple a week per month.
Yeah, and it's per person. So you're a married individual. It means $4,000 in your household.
Dang.
I'm a married man with 2 adult daughters. That means $8,000. So you think about how quickly this can add up. It's crazy.
Yeah, the thing is like it makes you like, what am I gonna buy now?
Right. Yeah. So this is one of those things, whenever the lottery gets really huge and everybody starts that don't normally buy lottery tickets start randomly buying lottery tickets, and we all do the same thing. It's really about the fantasy of having all that money and how we would waste it. Yeah. So this is like it's like kind of a fun version of it. So everybody, when you tune out of the podcast today and you're sitting in your car or at work or wherever you are, sit there and imagine what you would do with $2,000 every 2 weeks. And what you would spend it on, because you can't keep it. You can't store it away and use it.
That's
the catch. Spend it. Yeah, that's the catch. And imagine that you don't have a lot of bills, and think of what fun things you might do. Because I think it's a lot of fun to think about those things.
Yeah, I could totally waste that so easy. Like I could just make a new computer for me.
Yeah, you can do. I mean, you build a huge giant fish tank and grow even more fish. I mean,
oh yeah, buy a shed and just be like my whole aquarium in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the shed's a really cool idea. And could buy some dumb like a go-kart. I mean, there's so many fun things that I would like. Like a lot of times you see stuff that's super cool, and you're like, if I was rich and had money to waste. Yeah. That's always my go-to. If I was rich and had money to waste. And this would be that answer. And it would be, you wouldn't feel bad about it because that's what they want you to do. They want you to stimulate the economy. You
become a sneakerhead for like 2 weeks. 2 months.
Exactly right. And then I just keep them all stored away. Hope they gain value. Maybe that's the play, is you spend it on things you think will like grow in value. You buy just a ton of collector stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. With that, unless you've got something else you want to talk about.
One shout out to our news jacuzzi.
Yeah.
You should tune into our news because did you see the Gundam?
Oh.
That they had like actual footage of it moving.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they had footage of it.
So it's out actually working?
Yeah, and my wife's like, did you see this video? It's so cool. I'm like, yo, we talked about that like months ago.
We broke that news.
Yeah, you need to tune in, man.
That's awesome. There you go. Yeah. So if you want the latest news before it's popular news, it's in the news jacuzzi. Ooh, that was good. We should take that as a drop. All right. With that, we will wish everybody adieu and have a great time. See you on the flip side. Bye.